So what are some weird laws in America? Well, let's start with this one, because apparently in Alabama, it's illegal to wear a fake mustache in a church if someone laughs. So if you wear a mustache and you make someone laugh, that's illegal. Bro sitting in the second row, yeah, you and the weird mustache? Yeah, what's up? What about my mustache? Take this thing off, people are laughing at you, look at that! But it's my real mustache. Oh. Sorry. But if you wear a fake mustache and you just walk in the church, it's fine, not a problem. But if someone looks at you and they laugh, it's still fine. But if that laugh interrupts the service, then yeah, that would be illegal. But that's not the only law about churches in the US, because let's see here. Where is that? Oh yeah, in Delaware, it's illegal to whisper in a church. So yeah, you cannot whisper. Like what? They want people to be loud? Well, no, right? They actually want people to be silent, you know, like, and apparently the rule was made to keep churches quiet, serious, and respectful. So you apparently cannot whisper in a small town in Delaware. It's not in the whole US, it's just one town in Delaware they made that law, which I still kind of think is weird, you know, like one town has a law and another town doesn't, and one state has a law and another state doesn't. I don't get the US, but that's still a law. You cannot whisper in a church. But so far, the laws have been mild, timid. They're not like that weird, but this coming one is crazy. Okay, so there's a law in Arizona that says that a donkey cannot sleep in a bathtub. Yeah, that's the actual law. You cannot have a donkey sleeping in a bathtub. Not again. And the funny thing is that this law happened because of an actual accident back in the 1920s, because look at this story. In the 1920s, a farmer put his donkey in a bathtub outside, right? Outside of his ranch for some weird reason, because why not? And one day, a huge storm hit the town and it was crazy. It was like a really, really massive storm. And in the early morning, the farmer goes and he's like, where's my donkey? The donkey was swept away by the storm. So like, he panics, he runs to the town and he's like, my donkey is gone. And apparently everyone went to the river to look for the donkey, and it took them hours, and yeah, they finally rescued the donkey after like hours of looking. But apparently right after this incident, they made a law that said no donkey is allowed to sleep in a bathtub. And it's still an actual law till our current day. I bet you're not ready for that next law. Yeah, this coming law is wild, because apparently, first of all, if you don't know, Idaho, you know, the state of Idaho in the US, is the only state in the entire United States that has a law that says cannibalism is illegal. Like, obviously everyone knows that cannibalism is illegal, you cannot eat people, but Idaho is the only state that actually mentions that in their legal books, okay? So that's fine, that's not a problem. Like, if someone commits cannibalism in Idaho, it's a felony, and apparently they can get up to like 14 years in prison. But that's not the problem, okay? Because the problem is, this law has an exception. Look at that. So Idaho law says that cannibalism is allowed. It's allowed, okay? Only if it's truly needed for survival. So if you're gonna starve to death and you have your friend right next to you, apparently you can eat your friend in Idaho. Like, it's legal. And I don't get how. But that doesn't mean that, okay, you can just go on a hike without any food and you and your friend are there, you're starving, and then you can just eat your friend, right? Like, you have to prove it to court, which is weird, but you still have to prove it to court that you ate your friend because you did it to survive. Like here, the court must decide that it was truly a life-threatening emergency, and it should also decide if the person had absolutely no other choice, and if there was no food at all. Like, apparently if those three exceptions, or if 3 cases pass, then it will be legal to cannibalize someone. Yeah, wild. But my friend, if you think that law was weird, this one is even weirder because apparently, also, it's illegal to wrestle bears in Louisiana. Yeah. But the thing is about this law, it kind of makes sense. Like, the story of it makes sense. Why? See. So many years ago, before like strict animal protection laws and all those stuff, there were public shows in front of people, okay? And in those public shows, they had bears versus humans. And they used to like chain or drug or use like horrible tools on the bears. And then people would wrestle the bears. Yeah, there would be a whole fight between man and bear. So Louisiana saw that in the 1900s, in the late 1900s even, and they were like, okay, that's not okay. Like, they saw that as cruel, unsafe, and unfair, obviously, because, oh, like, the bear is chained, you know, like, let the bear free and see who's gonna win. But yeah, so Louisiana said that they're gonna ban all forms of bear wrestling. So no wrestling bears, no training bears to wrestle. I don't know how would you train a bear to wrestle, but apparently you cannot train it. No having events featuring bear wrestling. Okay, that's kind of funny. And no owning a bear for wrestling purposes. Interesting. Okay, who's ready for a fight? I'm not gonna get taken down this time. I'm ready. I'm sorry, bro, but it's illegal to wrestle now. Seriously, bro? I've been training so hard for this one. But even though it's a really weird law to have, like, imagine having in your law sheet, like, it's illegal to wrestle bears. Thinking about it, it's a very sweet law. Like, it values ethical treatment of animals, so I kind of think it's a good one, even though it's weird. But even though some places care about animals, this coming law, though, is weird. It's also about animals, but it's weirder, because apparently it's illegal to put a gorilla in a backseat of a car. Yeah. Hey, cool, that makes me shotgun for life! Well, you can't really sit shotgun either. Does it say in the law that I cannot sit shotgun? Well, not really. The law doesn't say anything about you sitting in the front seat. Yep, that settles it. I'm shotgun for life. But yeah, surprisingly, in the law, it doesn't say anything about gorillas sitting shotgun. So it's not illegal to put it in the front seat, but it is illegal. It's written in Massachusetts that it's illegal to put a gorilla in the back seat. But why? But why? And why specifically the back seat? Because there is a reason for the back seat and not the front. They didn't just forget about putting the front seat, okay? So why? Well, it's because back then people used to have a lot of circuses, okay? And in the circus you'd have animals like gorillas, chimpanzees, lions, and a lot of other animals, okay? So one of the things is that those people used to transport those animals with them across states. And a lot of people actually put the animals in the back seat. Like, apparently someone put a gorilla in the back seat because they wouldn't have made it a law if they didn't put a gorilla in the back seat. But the back seat was banned because, okay, let's see why. Because if a gorilla sat in the back seat, listen to this, it could reach the driver, it could block the rear view, and it can break the seat or door. So yeah, lawmakers wanted to avoid accidents or injuries or escape attempts even, so that's why they made the back seat illegal. But surprisingly, they were fine with the front seat. Like, apparently the front seat was closer to trainers or handlers who could keep the animal calm. So if you have the gorilla, I guess, next to you in the front seat, you can keep it calm, but in the back you couldn't. Yeah. That's okay, that's really weird. But the thing is, I'm looking at this law from today's point of view, okay? Like, most people nowadays will never drive with a gorilla in their car, right? Like, I don't think you, my friends, ever even seen a gorilla. Maybe in a zoo once, but I don't know if you've seen a gorilla. And definitely you didn't have a gorilla in your car. But back then, apparently it was normal. Like, I don't know. I didn't live in the 1900s. I lived like 6 months in like 99. But other than that, yeah, I don't know. Apparently they did that. And if you have any relatives or any friends, like older friends who used to run a circus with animals, let me know if they had a gorilla in their car before, because that would be crazy to listen to that story. And for the final law of today, we have this one, which is in New Jersey, and my friend, it's an actual law, okay? Like, look it up. It's a real law. And it says that men are not allowed to knit during the official fishing season. So yeah, if it's fishing season and you're out fishing, you cannot take your knitting kit with you. And especially for men, like the law says men cannot knit during fishing season. Interesting. Hey sir, what's that in your hand? A knitting kit? Yeah, and what season is it? Fishing season? Yeah, so get rid of this thing and get some fish. Your family's gonna die, bro. Get some fish. Because back then, fishing season was actually important. Like, it was the time when people caught like trout, bass, and other fish for food and income. So if people didn't fish in some areas, they wouldn't eat. They wouldn't have enough food to provide for their household. But the thing is, knitting back then was not a hobby. It was their way of making clothes. And men usually knit off season while work was slow. And apparently some men were knitting during fishing season instead of fishing. And that meant that those men caught less fish, which means less food, less income for the family. So lawmakers were like, you know what? We're gonna put a law. Men cannot knit during fishing season. And it's still a law till now. Like if you look it up, it's still illegal to knit while you're fishing in fishing season. Bro, the US is wild. Like I think I've been fishing once or something, I don't know. And I don't think it's one of those things that you have to stay focused on the water. Like, so what if you knit? And if you, my friend, are someone who fishes a lot or like goes fishing, what do you think? Is it an issue? Like if you get a knitting kit and start knitting? Like I know right now knitting is a hobby for people. Like it's not actually a necessity anymore. But yeah, back then it was a necessity. That's why people knit. But yeah, what do you think? Is knitting fine during fishing? Like I actually don't know. You tell me, my friend. I really don't know. And if you have another law that I should make for the next video, let me know in the comments. And thank you, my friend, for watching. Love you. And I'll see you in the next one.